Many Americans, work can feel like a hamster wheel. No matter how hard they run, it never feels like enough. Americans, on average, say they would need $520,000 a year to feel rich. And the more people earn, the more they say they need to feel comfortable. Americans making under $50,000 felt they needed $157,000 a year to feel comfortable. Those making $100,000 or more said they would need $246,000.
That just shows you that people always think once I make a certain amount of money, that everything will get better. But it doesn't. Because every time you move to another level, things just feel like it gets worse and worse. And the thing about it is, most of the times, we do it to ourselves. I don't say most, I'm saying all the times, we put ourselves in that situation. Right? If you go from a $50,000 salary to a $100,000 salary, you cannot say the cost of living is just tearing you up. Yes, rent could go up, right? We have a mortgage, that's not going to happen, but property taxes, that goes up, groceries go up, yes, but not to a point where you need to have double the income. See, a lot of people just put themselves in bad situations. They do. As soon as you get a raise, the first thing people want to do is run out and get themselves a brand new car. Now everyone is just dying to get a house, even though the housing market is just ridiculous right now. People are dying to get it. The average car payment right now is $750. So that tells you right there how people just continuously just want to have a car. Paying $750 for a car is insane. That's like, in some places, like one third the cost of like rent, or like half in some places. That's a lot of money that people are spending on car payments. So it's like always a chase and the chase. And to me, to find true happiness is to just appreciate what you have, and the extra you have, put that aside to build up, man, to invest. Put that in the index fund, S&P 500, and just invest into your retirement, and hope you can retire early and your happiness is going to increase. Because to me, the key to happiness is having the freedom to do anything you want, period. Not have to work a 9 to 5, just do anything you want. But I'm not surprised by that. And $520,000 a year to make yourself feel rich, that's insane. There's people who make way less than that and are way happier, and they get to enjoy life so much. It's just all really about choices.
Middle school, a song came out called Mo Money, Mo Problems. And I think that that's true. Your problems scale. You still are dealing with a finite number every month. Your worries, your anxiety, your budget scales to that. You still are dealing with a ceiling.
Yeah, you're always dealing with that ceiling. That's why I always tell people, when you want to get better with finances, you need to work on a foundation, right? Which is your emotions. You have to make sure you keep your emotions in check. And you always have to have the mentality of always living on less than what you make, right? So once you get a raise, yes, you can increase your lifestyle, but not at the same rate as your raise. Let's say you get a 10% raise, you don't increase your lifestyle by 10%. What you do is you increase your investment by 2%, you increase your savings by 2%. You also might, anything, if you need a car, whatever, you might increase your savings account to save up for a car. And then, 5% ish or 4% to increase your lifestyle. If you do it that way, then every time you're getting all this money, all of your accounts are elevating, right? If you have debt, you put in extra towards debt, that's being paid off little by little. If you put in extra money into your retirement account, that's building. Your enjoyment and the money you're making from your raises, you're enjoying life. So everything is moving up. But if you just neglect the saving and the investment and paying off debt, and you're making more money, and instead of using that money, right, to get lifestyle creep and enjoy life, you start just running up credit card debt because you're just trying to have this image. Now all the money you're making is going towards your credit cards, which feels like it's never going to stop. That right there is just a sign of disaster.
About 14% of all U.S. households make $200,000 or more every year. But many of them, dubbed Henrys or high earners not rich yet, still don't feel rich. 62% of people with salaries over $300,000 a year struggle with credit card debt.
It makes me chuckle because it's making me think about everything you hear on social media, right? 12% of people make, I think she said $200,000 a year, right? And if you look all over social media, like everyone is rich. $200,000, you're a loser, right? A Grant Cardone type nonsense. They always make you feel bad for making $200,000 a year, but just shows you that's not even feasible for a majority of people. And then it showed us, well, people who make more than $600,000 are struggling with debt, right? Guys, if you just want to build wealth, we all know what to do, but society is really, really, really strong holding us to making us do things that we never really wanted to do. We just need to handle our business. And it just shows you, man, money doesn't fix all problems. it could make it worse. Like she said, Biggie, more money, more problems.
Earning doesn't actually make you feel rich, spending it does. If most people spent 99% of their paycheck, they'd feel quite rich. And it's the paradox here, when we're in accumulation mode, it's very difficult to feel rich.
It can be pretty easy for someone to feel like I'm making really good money, but I don't have a lot of discretionary income.
Earning more and feeling like you're still on a hamster wheel is what a lot of Henrys experience. And that's because they're not living within their means. They may have been living above their means when they weren't nearly making as much money, and now they're just continuing to add more and more and more.
Let's be honest. A majority of society, and I was one of them, and that's why I had to make this switch. They don't find savings fun. Savings is boring. It really is. It's boring. You ever met someone that all they do is save? It's like they're hoarding. They're trying to find ways to be cheap with every single thing. You're like, man, just enjoy life, right? Just enjoy life. They just feel like that in order to build wealth, it's boring. And you get the excitement when you buy stuff. So obviously, the more money you make, the more things you could buy, the more dopamine hit you could get, right? Or more you start buying to mask all that the debt you're going through or the struggle you're going through in life because it makes you feel good. The problem is all that stuff fades away, especially if you lose your job or anything drastic happens in your life where your income comes down. And that's the problem right there, because then you're faced with the reality of, wow, I have no money. I made all this money. I lost it all. Now I got to sell my house. Now I got to sell my car. Now I got to, my car's going to repossessed. My credit card debt, they're all calling me. Now it's all chaotic and you're trying to get back to a salary. That's not easy to get to. Like once you get to the pinnacle, guys, that's why I always think to myself, I always want to act like I'm making a certain amount of money, say 50 grand. So even if I make 150 and something, God forbid, happens, I go to 75, it's like, it's okay. I know what it's like to live on $50,000. That's why it's important, man, to pay off your debt as much as possible, as quick as possible, as soon as you get a good amount of money. You just feel lighter when in situations where if you lose, your job or whatever the case may be. Because if you keep on getting more money, man, you keep on accumulating debt, you're trying to sustain a lifestyle that's just not sustainable.
I earn $300,000 and I live in New York City. I definitely don't feel rich. I feel very lucky, I feel privileged, but I do not feel rich. I could not stop working right now. I have more money anxiety almost now than I ever did in my 20s. I am on a hamster wheel and there's no question about it.
Yeah, $300,000, man, that's a lot of money. And it's really unfortunate she just doesn't feel rich. Right? There's so many people right now watching this video saying, yo, $300,000? This is what I do. But in the same time, right, if you tell someone your salary and they're making less than you go, man, if I made the money you made, it's always that level of like, yo, people just want to get to a certain amount and they think once they get there, things will get better. Right? Guys, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Do you feel like that's how like the hardest thing in society is just trying to get ahead and not fuck up as much as we do? Or do you feel like, yo, that's just the cost of living being so high? Society is always going to be the way it is. Things are always going to be expensive and it just is what it is. Drop a comment down below because I would love to hear it. But this video was extremely interesting. And lets you know, it don't matter how much money you make, man. You're going to deal with some financial stress, period. Now, there's some people out there who might not, right? Because they handle their business, and that's great, which is a huge benefit when you handle your business. But for majority of society, it doesn't even matter. Catch you guys in my next video. Peace.